What's up, guys? Welcome back to the chat. As always, I'm your host, Samara Iman, and today we are in a very special place with a very special guest. We're at Jonathan Law High School, where I spent 4 crucial years of my life, and today we're joined by someone who played Division I soccer at the Virginia Military Institute, and in a few months, she'll become a second lieutenant in the United States Army. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Jill Hall.
Samara Thacker.
Thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited to have you on. I know we already obviously talked a little bit, but Jill and I have known each other basically since the beginning of high school. Since I was a sophomore, you were a freshman.
Yes, yeah.
So it's been a minute since we've known each other, but today is the first time we're seeing each other since I graduated. So
4 years. Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But no, thank you so much for joining me. You've been, I'm honestly, I just want to start off by saying I'm really proud of you because
thank you.
I would have never thought that you would have gone to a military college like that. I just never thought of that. But
neither did I.
Honestly, before this episode, I was like, now that I'm thinking of it, I could have 100% saw you going to a military college, just playing soccer and basketball together. You were very disciplined. I feel like you always uplifted people when we were not in good times because you know how I was when we played, especially basketball, because that was my main sport. Soccer was your main sport, but I feel like with basketball, I could get intense sometimes, but I feel like you were that voice of reason.
Sometimes I thought you hated me because of how serious you were always.
Okay, well, I never hated you. If I hated you, I don't know if you would be on this podcast. Okay, but yeah, you guys heard some background. Obviously we played soccer and basketball together. Never thought you would have gone to a military college, but now, like I said, that I'm thinking back on it, I 100% saw you doing that. So let's start from the beginning. Walk us through, how you got started playing soccer, and your journey to VMI.
Yeah, so I started playing soccer when I was 4. Mm-hmm. It's a funny story how I became a goalie. So it was pitcher day for little kicks, and I forgot my jersey. But fortunately I was wearing this bright pink shirt, and my dad had softball gloves in the back of his truck.
Oh my god.
So he's like, okay, Jill, just put these gloves on and you're gonna be the goalie.
That is so funny.
Yeah, so that's how it started.
So you became a goalie because of your dad and because you forgot a jersey.
Yep. Yeah.
That's honestly a good, I think that's the best way to start out. That's the best way to start out as goalie.
Yeah, so it was weird, but then I came to know soccer pretty competitively when I was I would say 9 or 10, and then I started playing for Yankee, which you played for also.
Yeah.
And then I just moved up through that, and then I learned to I really didn't like running, so goalie was a really good position for me.
I didn't like running either, which is crazy because I was a forward, which is you had to run,
but you were fast.
I was fast, but I'm sure I wasn't a long distance person. We did track and field. I was not a long distance person. So that's funny. So you played for Yankee, and then once we got to Law, Rody was our coach, and honestly, I want you to tell me how you viewed your high school soccer experience, because I think like I said, obviously basketball was my main sport, soccer was your main sport, but I still we both still took the other sports very seriously. But I want to hear your perspective of our high school soccer experience.
Well, so high school is the time where everyone's committing to play sports, and I think that's really where my career in a sense became oh my god, I gotta figure this out, where am I going to college? Mm-hmm. And playing club at the highest level you could at 14 years old was a big change from going to high school to club, because high school is supposed to be the fun atmosphere, and just getting to play with your friends and things like that. But I always grew up being like a dual sport athlete. You know, I played basketball and soccer, and honestly, in high school, I enjoyed playing basketball more than I did soccer because it was kind of like a outlet in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, it's kind of rare to see a dual sport athlete, especially in high school, like because you're going through the trying to go to a college. And
actually, you know, honestly, some of like the best athletes I do think have played another sport, because that's also a way that you can, you know, develop other skills, but also, like you said, it's that time to kind of get away from, you know, that intensity. You know, I feel like soccer and basketball for us, it was still intense because, you know, our teams were competitive, and, you know, we had other players on the team who could have easily gone on to play at the next level too. So yeah, I definitely think that, you know, having that other sport is a good outlet mentally and physically. But I mean, you came to law and literally played every single season. Soccer, basketball, track and field. So was that 12 seasons?
12, yep.
That's insane. And then to go on to be a college athlete, you basically had not only track and field, you were playing club also in the spring. So you basically had no time off. Basically.
Yeah, no time for friends. It was tough because especially during basketball, because, you know, you couldn't play club at the same time as high school. But once club picked up, like, it was like, do I go to basketball practice or do I go to club practice? And I remember, like, my sophomore year of high school, I almost got kicked off of my club team because I was at basketball. And it was really tough because I just loved playing, you know.
And you wanna do both, you know, because I mean, I never really had that issue because like the springtime I ran track, but I only did it for like 1 or 2 years, so, and it didn't interfere. And obviously, when I was playing AAU, I thought I was gonna play at the next level, but I mean, like, you had to balance that, so I couldn't have imagined doing that in high school.
Yeah, it was tough because, you know, I honestly enjoyed playing basketball more, but I knew soccer was going to be my outlet, my way to get into college in a way. So, yeah.
I mean, okay, she was also smart. Like, you were going to get into college regardless. Obviously, regardless. But I know what you mean. So, let's, like, fast forward a little bit. So, but I wanted to ask that question about, like, how our soccer experience was for you, because, like, obviously we had some, I feel like we had some seasons where we were good, some seasons where, like, it was a little rocky,
a little shaky.
Yeah, but also, like, because you were, like, a little younger than me, but I never like really saw you as younger. I think when it came to basketball, maybe because like my junior and most of the years that we played together, I was a captain, so, like, I could see, like, that like difference. But when it came to soccer, like, you were a leader. Obviously, like, I think a goalie should always be a leader on the team because you see things that everybody else doesn't. But, like, on the soccer field, I feel like I didn't really see you as younger. Like, I didn't really see you as, you know, well, I don't think anyone should ever see anyone as younger, or like there should be a difference of how, like, a
hierarchy or something.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. So fast forward a little bit, you get to, like, your junior, senior year. What was going through your mind?
So my junior year of high school, you were a senior. Yeah, okay. So do you remember when I had my shoulder injury?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do remember
so
that.
I had my shoulder injury, so I tore my labrum, and I had to get surgery to fix it, like, right on the tail end of our season of soccer, and I had to sit out of basketball.
Wait, you didn't play for a little bit during this season, right? Oh my god, I barely remember. Who was goalie?
Morgan Taylor.
Oh,
Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I do remember that. Morgan, I'm sorry. Like, my brain just, like, I just had a brain fart.
Yeah, Morgan was, I think.
Okay, yeah, no, I remember that now. Okay.
Yeah, because you remember Gina?
Yes, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, anyway, so yeah,
so I tore my labrum, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna go to college to play soccer, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm done playing. But right after that, in the spring, I was completely healed. I went to a tournament in New Jersey. Remember PDA? Yeah, so I got looked at by VMI, and VMI coach was there. I was like, what the hell is VMI? Like,
yeah.
What are they doing? Who is like? So I researched it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, maybe I'll go for a visit. Like, let's see what's up. Yeah, so I went for a visit right at the tail end of my junior year. Kind of loved it in a way, which was really weird. And then I committed right after my junior year to VMI.
Well, why do you think it was weird? Because you weren't expecting to love a military college?
Yes. Yeah. I was like, me, military? Like, hell no. That's not going to happen.
And nobody in your family was in the military, right?
Yeah, so I'll be the first.
Okay. Well, you are
I am the first.
Yeah, you are the
Duh, I just graduated.
Yeah.
It's still weird to, like, process. Like, I don't believe it.
No, trust me. I'm a year out. It's been a year now that I've graduated. So, and it's been, a few weeks since you've graduated. Yeah. So, trust me, it's going to hit you even more as time goes on. Yeah. But, so you were like, VMI, what the heck?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but I decided to just go for it, and do something different. And that's what happened. Yeah. And then senior year came and COVID hit, and that's another thing. Oh my God.
Was that, so basically that was senior year and freshman year of college?
COVID, yeah.
COVID,
so February of my senior year, and then,
Okay, yeah. So I know you mentioned like PDA, that's where VMI saw you, but what was the process like when you actually committed to play there?
Yeah, so I went for a visit, I would say like April or May of 2019, yeah. So I went for a visit. It was an official visit, or it was an unofficial visit just to see the school because I wasn't committed by then. Saw the school, and then the Coach HT, he called me about a week after I got home and was like, we want to offer you to play here. Like, we think you'd be a really good fit. And then I hung up the phone, and then I talked to my parents, and they were like, do you really want to do this? Like, whatever you want.
What did they think? Like, military, what?
My mom was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
She was like, I have no idea what this is. Like, and you can't blame them. Like, neither did I, you know? So
it's something new, especially when you haven't had, a family member to ask about like what's the military experience, what am I getting myself into. So I mean that's very understanding, and I feel like your mom, especially, like most moms are, they're probably like, oh my god, she's gonna go to military college, she's gonna go into the military, what's gonna happen, blah blah, you know what I mean? I feel like moms, that's just like their thought process. But
yeah, she was so emotional, oh my god. But so was my dad though, our dads, like the strict, like I remember like our dads used to sit near each other in the basketball games.
I know what you mean.
But so my dad was all for it, like for the school, and I was just like, you know what, like I'm gonna do it. And then I called them back and committed on the spot.
So what made you, obviously you, like you said, you're like, let's just give it a try, but like what really drew you to the school? Like what was the program like at the time? Like what drew you to it?
Like VMI is a small school, and I think I wanted to be a part of a smaller school than a bigger school, just for that community aspect.
And with a lot of Division I schools, you don't get that.
Exactly,
because most schools are, on the relatively larger side.
Especially in Division I sports, like usually a lot of D1 schools are, even in our conference, so we played in the Southern Conference, huge schools like Furman and Wofford, like huge schools. We were probably the smallest school in the Southern Conference, but like the aspect that I kind of realized why I went to VMI after I got there, which was kind of weird, but just to be a part of something bigger than myself was a big thing for me. Coming from Milford, like Connecticut, like when you told someone from Virginia or from Connecticut, they're like, Connecticut.
They think it's like a foreign place. Yeah, I'm like, no, it's like literally like if you just drive like 6 hours, you'll be in Connecticut.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, what do you do there? But I think I was just really kind of getting out of Connecticut. That was my thing. I didn't want to go to school in Connecticut. So
no, that's understanding. Not the lights, but turn off. No, that's understanding. So what was like? So when you first got to VMI, freshman Jill, what was going through your mind? What was it like?
So at VMI, it's kind of like a mini boot camp in a sense. It's like a passage right to be a cadet at VMI. So it's called the rat line. So you're called a rat for 6 months.
When you first get there?
When you get there, yeah.
Oh, God.
So you matriculated on August 15th, and then your first week there is called Hell Week. So it's like people yelling in your face and calling you piece of dirt and just like you're like nothing, like physically and mentally, like you get broken down. It's kind of like a passage rite to become a cadet. And everyone has to do it. So the people yelling at you have been there before. So it's kind of
so
like
they know what you're going through. They're not just doing it to do it.
Yeah.
They're trying to, find what breaks you, but also find is this person gonna find their strength, I guess? Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah. So we started with over 500 matriculants in our class. We ended up losing over 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they break you down to build you back up. They want to know who wants to stay there.
So when that happens, do they leave school?
Yeah, it's called OP, they out process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they leave. It's all voluntary, so no one's gonna force you to leave or stay. Yeah.
Wow. So then your freshman year, obviously that was the military training side, but your freshman year of being with the soccer program, how did you balance, walk us through that timeline? Because you get there, you have your little boot camp, all that, but then when does soccer start?
Yeah, so matriculation's the middle of August, so we got there for preseason beginning of August, so we're there for some time before school starts.
Okay, so basically you started preseason. And then you had your boot camp.
Yeah.
Oh my God, your body must have been.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a really tough transition. At the school, there's a really big divide between athletes and non-athletes because athletes get out of a lot of things, but I mean, it's Division I sports.
That's every college. Yeah. At UConn, I remember we would have athletes in our class. We have an exam or something. Obviously, they don't get out of it, but they don't have to take it that day or they have to take it another time. But I think that's every school,
Yeah. So we got out of a lot of things, but it's because we had games and practices. But my freshman year, a couple days before matriculation, they canceled the season because of COVID. So we didn't have a fall season, we had a spring season. So we kind of went through the rat line, NARPs, they call them. So it's NARPs and permits. Permits are athletes because they get out of things.
Okay. And those are then the NARPs are they're regular people. Or what did they call them? Wait, what is it then? The non-athletic regular people. Okay, well, I don't think that's fair because I was athletic, but I was a NARP. But basically a NARP, you're not athletic enough to play Division I.
Yeah.
But even after your freshman year, what is the balance between your military training and your soccer training? Are you still doing your military training during the season? What's that what was that schedule like for you?
Yeah, so after your sophomore year at VMI, you can decide to commission or not. So there's a lot of people that are athletes go there just to go to school there. So I decided I wanted to commission my sophomore year.
What was that decision like?
It was tough because I was what am I putting my body through? Am I going to be able to do this? It's very rigorous, academic wise already. So what am I going to do with
physically?
This? Yeah, because once I get in the Army, my body's already kind of messed up from playing 20 years of soccer, So it's it was a big decision, but I knew I wanted to do it because I wasn't going to go to a military school to just go. I was going to do it for the benefits.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really tough. It was a definitely time management skill I had to learn. Yeah.
So your freshman year, obviously that was a COVID year, so things were a little different. So I kind of want to jump to that sophomore year because that's when you decided to commission as well. So I know you put in all of the games, so that's when I'm assuming you got that starting position.
Yeah.
So what was that like for you? Obviously coming off of COVID year, things are crazy. What was it like to be okay, this is my team. This is,
It was really tough because I'm pretty young for my grade, so I was 18 my sophomore year, starting as a Division I keeper and playing with 23-year-old girls, or women.
Yeah. And I feel even if you're not a leader, even if you're not in a formal leadership role as a goalkeeper, captain or whatever, or upperclassman, I feel you're that leader. So what was that like, being a leader to like 23-year-old woman when you're an 18-year-old girl, basically. Still.
Yeah, it was really tough, but I definitely worked for it. I definitely knew I deserved it and wanted to play. It was a really big transition, you know, like giving your teammates respect and showing them that you want to be there for them and leading on the field. But we didn't really have a hierarchy my sophomore year. But you have to establish yourself, especially at a place of VMI, that you're strong and powerful. Because, you know, it's hard playing with women at any school because women like to compete with other women, you know. You see that in every sports period. But yeah, I think it was tough, but I'm trying.
You got through it.
Yeah.
And your sophomore year, you claimed the #1 spot for most saves in a single season.
Yes.
So clearly you're onto something, and obviously that led to a bigger goal. You became, you know, basically like the top goalie at VMI ever with the most saves in school history. What was that? 389 saves?
Something, I don't know.
389 saves in your career. That, I think you deserve a round of applause for that.
Thank you.
But no, that's a huge accomplishment, and I think I don't know, but I think I see that as like even a bigger accomplishment because you're not just there playing soccer. You're putting through your body through, you know, rigorous military training. So kudos to you because I could not have done it. Yeah, no, kudos to you because that's a very, you know, big accomplishment. And then kind of fast forwarding a little bit to your senior season. I know you guys struggled a little bit your last season. So, you know, I just want to ask, like, how was it for you when you were having these like personal accomplishments? It's your senior year, you know, it's your senior year is supposed to be a fun time, you know, but you know, you guys are struggling a little bit. So how did you find that like joy and, you know, that time to kind of pat yourself on the back during, you know, such a hard time?
Yeah, it was definitely a really hard season. We were super close as a team, and I think that's what got us through it all. There were 6 of us as seniors, and being a captain on that team was honestly, like, senior year was my best year, our favorite season, even though we didn't win a lot. We never really won a lot, but it's tough, like, recruiting for a school like VMI. It was definitely hard to celebrate, like, personal accomplishments like that, and, you know, it's hard to be proud of yourself when you're not giving and like having that team first mentality and then celebrating yourself at the same time. But I mean, the community at VMI, like the athletes are pretty close with each other. So I had like athletes coming from like the football team and the boys soccer team, like saying, "Oh my God, Jill, like congrats, like that's amazing." And I kind of didn't set in until after I was done playing. Okay. I'm like, oh my God, like I did this, you know, and I could be proud of myself now.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously you're always gonna, you're always at this point, like you're always going to be remembered at VMI, with not only within the soccer program, but I mean that's just a huge accomplishment, you know, in general. So I think I think that's something to be proud of. But I think the way you went about that goes a lot to, you know, that shows a lot about your character, you know, because not everybody would have been like, you know, my team is very close, it's about my team, you know. I didn't really, you know, celebrate those personal accomplishments until after, you know. Not everybody would have said that. So kudos to you for kind of doing that. But yeah, I kind of want to ask a few questions. So you were for like the military side, you were like the rat line leader, like I don't know how to explain it. So tell us what that is.
Yeah. So there's like a lot. It's so hard to explain to people like that don't, and it gets like my mom. Because
I remember watching the video that you did at VMI. You were the enforcer of the rat line. Yeah, that's what it was.
So like at VMI, like there's the cadre, like the whole team that like is with the rats, and you're in companies, so like they're all separated. I was part of the RDC, so it's the rat disciplinary. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
What was it? Okay.
The RDC.
Yeah, so I was part of the RDC. It was like a committee of like some badass people at VMI, like in my grade. And I was one of 2 girls.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, if a rat got in trouble or broke like a rule, like talking outside, like you couldn't talk outside, they'd get an RDC slip.
Like outside, like the
walking
building?
to class. Yeah, you couldn't.
Oh my God. Like, wait,
you couldn't talk anywhere else except for an academic building or your room.
Like, for how long?
6 months. Yeah.
Oh my God. So you had to enforce that. So
yes,
like,
yeah.
if you saw, wait, first of all, why did they just, has it just always been a thing that they call it like the rat line? Like, do you know like what's the reasoning behind it?
I have no idea.
Okay. I'm just curious. Like, rat is like so specific.
I know, yeah. There's probably is like a cool history behind that, but I'm sorry, I don't know.
You're good. So like, if you saw someone on the rat line like saying something in the hallway or whatever, like, what would you do?
Scream.
And I'm like, it's funny because like obviously I know you as like this goofy person, but like I'm sure they were like, they probably wanted to like crap their pants when they saw you.
Yeah, I asked like some rats after rat line. I was like, do you think I was scary? They're like, oh yeah. I'm like, I would laugh after every time I would yell at them because I had to turn around and laugh because background, like you get chosen from like your peers to be on that, and I told myself I never wanted to be the reason somebody left VMI. Then I'm on the RDC and I was the reason, kind of,
yeah.
But
were some people on your rat line left?
Yeah, so a lot of people left. Yeah, they leave like the first day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough transition, and a lot of people don't know what they're getting themselves into.
So like, what's one thing? I know, like, people say, like, what's one thing that would put someone into a coma? Like, what's one thing at VMI? Or, like, honestly, a few things. What are a few things at VMI that would, like, put, like, the average regular person into a coma? And for anyone who doesn't know, like, put them into a coma, like, something, like, the average person could, like, never do. Like, could never go through. And, I mean, I guess some of those people on the line were some of those average people, but...
Yeah, so I say it's like the rat line. They had to walk on an actual line outside.
Oh my God.
Like you couldn't walk on a certain sidewalk. Also,
like all the time?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, so whenever they walk outside, they have to walk on that line?
Yeah, you have to pivot.
Oh, wow.
Also, another thing is we live in barracks, so I slept on a wooden rack in a hay, so you had to roll up your bed every day, even as an upperclassman.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, another thing
is... So you didn't have, like, a dorm?
No, I didn't have a dorm. It's like it is a dorm, kind of, but you share a room with, like, it's an open room.
But you're sleeping on hay.
You're not actual hay.
Oh.
No. It's like a prison cot.
Oh, my God.
Like
for all 4 years?
Mm-hmm. You have the same bed for 4 years.
Oh, my God.
I still have it. I'll send you a picture of it.
Wow. Yeah, no, send us a picture so we can, like, show everybody what this... That is insane. Yeah, no, I mean... They're really trying to prepare you for the military. Like, that's no joke. Wow.
They also, as a rat, you have to... God. It's called a thing called straining. Like, you have to tuck your chin in and pull your shoulders back so you have a double chin, and you have to, like, pin your arms like this when you walk through barracks.
Oh, my God.
And you have to refer to yourself in the third person. You're like, this rat wants this. Like, you can't say your name.
So I'd be like, this rat needs to go to the bathroom.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that would definitely put me into a coma.
I honestly had no idea what that even happened when I got there, but I was like, it is what it is.
Well, I'm sure, like, during the recruiting process, the soccer coach wasn't like, yeah, you're going to have to sleep in barracks for 4 years, and you're going to have to do that. But, I mean, I guess, were they realistic?
They were realistic more than other sports there, like,
okay.
There's a big, like, stigma around, like, the football team leaving and things like that because their coaches aren't honest with them.
Okay.
I don't think that's a thing anymore, but, like, they won't tell them what it actually is, and then they'll give them a full year scholarship and be like, you can't leave. But my coach was really honest with me. I just don't think I processed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did anyone on, like, obviously, like, someone who isn't, an athlete at VMI can just leave, but do you know of anyone, who couldn't take it, or was there anyone on the soccer team?
Yeah, 2 of my teammates left.
Oh, wow.
When we were rats, 2 of them. So we started with 11 recruits. We ended with 6. So 5 of them left. Well,
so in your class?
Yes, in my class. But a lot of them left the soccer team. So they just went to VMI because it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To do both.
Yeah.
did anybody leave to go to like another military school or no?
No, that's really rare.
Okay, yeah. I'm just curious. You know, you never know. But actually, I want to ask. So I know the Citadel is in your conference. Yeah. Did you guys ever see them as like a rival?
Yeah, they were like our huge rival.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That was the only other military school in the conference, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Okay.
Yeah. That was the only one.
Okay, and I know you guys that was one of the teams you guys beat your senior season. Yeah. I'm sure that was huge.
That was absolutely huge. My parents were there for that game, so it was super cool. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, like, I know there's been, a lot of tough times at VMI, obviously, just very difficult mentally and physically, but what are some of, like, your favorite memories? Obviously, you're now the all-time saves leader, but what are some other memories, that'll stick with you?
Yeah, a lot of my favorite memories don't come from soccer. Like, they come from the school. So I met my 2 best friends in the world my sophomore year. So we were roommates for 3 years. They weren't athletes at all, but it just worked, I get to vent to them about like every like sport problem I had.
Because I feel like that's nice to have people outside of, soccer to be able to vent to, or to just be like, oh my God, I had a crazy day,
Yeah, exactly. It's so nice to like expand your community, but just going through things with them and like having like your whole class, like everyone was really close and everyone knew everyone. So I think like the community aspect of VMI was my favorite experience.
And I know you've mentioned some like, I don't even know the right way of saying this, like some like, oh man, I don't even know the word to say, the right way to say this. It's like oh my God, like the rite of passage kind of that type of thing. Oh my God, I don't know why it took me so long to figure out that word. Okay, like a rite of passage. I know you talked about a lot of that, but what are some like traditions outside of the things that are like kind of hard, but like what are some traditions from VMI that that you'll miss, or that you'll like always remember outside of the rat line?
Oh gosh. Like a tradition at VMI is like your junior year, you go to this thing called ring figure. It's where like you pay like $3,000 for a ring.
Show them the ring.
And like you go through like this whole dance. And my dad was my date to that, so it was really special. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Just like I guess doing like events like that with the people. Like the people made the place. I think that's what I'll miss the most.
And so let's talk about what's next for you. So now you just graduated. You have your nice little ring to show up. But in January you'll be, actually like in the military. So explain to me. So you're a second lieutenant. Explain like that rank. What does that mean? Yeah.
So like as a commissioned officer, you have to have a 4-year degree in anything. It doesn't matter. For any branch.
Okay.
So the first rank as a commissioned officer is second lieutenant. Okay. And then it goes first captain and then up from there.
Okay.
So I'll basically be the low on the totem pole in terms of like officers. But the first thing I'll do is go to BULIC, which is called Basic Officer Leadership Course. There I'll
and you'll be in Georgia?
Yes, yeah. It'll be really nice. Different from here. Yeah. You'll train in like your specialized job basically, and after that like you graduate from that and then you get your first duty station. So I'm hoping it's overseas, but you'll never know. I'll never know. It's really up to them.
Do you know like what you want to do specifically in the Army?
Yeah, so I already have my job, so I'll be an armor officer. Okay. So I'll be with tanks. I'm super excited.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And is there anything that you're worried about, or anything that's like hesitant, or do you ever wonder like, is there anything that VMI didn't prepare me for?
VMI is like kind of like a really small bubble, so it's like you're not really exposed to the outside military and what other like cadets are doing in ROTC. So I guess like I'm worried about like not worried, but like a little anxious about like leading other people who have the same experiences as I do, and it's definitely with any job that's a common factor, like just being with a whole different like a diverse culture. It's tough like to get used to. So I guess that's
okay. But is there anything you're looking forward to? I know you've talked about going overseas or anything. So are you looking forward to, being able to travel?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I really have not been anywhere, so that would be super cool.
And obviously you're about to make this transition, but kind of just looking back on your VMI experience, is there, if you can think of, one piece of advice that you would give, someone who's about to start, not just at VMI, but any military school as a student athlete, what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
It's like kind of like a cliche, but like embrace the suck. That's what I had a senior mentor when I was a freshman, and she just told me, time is something that you can't stop. So embrace every hard thing that you do, and then be proud of yourself after, you're doing something that like 1% of the population gets to do in sports. And it's like, embrace everything, even the times you cry, the times you're happy, because time doesn't stop.
Yeah. And you're not only a part of that 1%, you're a part of that even smaller percent who decide to go into the military and serve our country. So I think that's probably, on top of being a student athlete, like you said, you're doing that. So that takes a whole nother level of, mental and physical strength.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to get into some fun Q&A a fun Q&A section. We're gonna make it snappy, our rapid fire Q&A. So whatever comes to your mind, just say it. Just say it.
You won't make fun of me.
No.
Okay.
I will not make fun of you.
Maybe Jordan will.
Okay, ready? All right, ready?
Yes.
Favorite sports team?
Oh my God, I don't know. Just give me a sport and I'll.
Basketball or football?
I like college sports better than Texas football.
Okay, Texas. Okay. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Baked potatoes.
Greatest female soccer player of all time?
Hope Solo.
Biggest soccer pet peeve? Or like soccer ick?
Oh God. People have an ick about me. I used to spit on my gloves. People think it's an ick, but I don't.
Okay, good. If you could spend the day with one athlete, who could it be? Current or like past?
Oh God. Kobe Bryant.
That's a great one. Favorite music artist?
Noah Khan.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike. Actually, Nike.
Actually, if you could have played any other position other than goalie, what would it have been?
Probably a center defender because I can't run.
Favorite TV show?
Oh God, Survivor. I've been binge watching it.
Okay, last one. Favorite movie?
16 Candles.
Oh, that's such a good one. Okay. All right, that was Make It Snappy. Let's hear your thoughts about Jill's answers. The baked potato was very interesting. All right, I know we talked about Caitlin Clark, when we first got here. So have you been following, were you following college basketball, and have you been following, the WNBA at all?
Yeah, I really love college basketball. I mean, I like college sports better than pro. I think it's more
same here.
I think it's more real in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
but,
it does.
Yeah, I've been following Caitlin Clark. I mean, everything in the media you see is super negative towards her right now. So that can't even imagine.
Yeah,
so.
I know you asked me like what my thoughts were on it, but now that I've thought about this a little more, I think a lot of it, like I said, is the media, but I think because we've never, actually I won't say that, because we haven't seen someone like her recently, I think people do try to find every little negative thing. But also I think while people have been a little negative, she had her whole senior year, people were very positive. Every game it was some sort of milestone, or some sort of something to celebrate. So I think she has gotten her flowers, but I think it's just because of her transition to the WNBA. I wouldn't say that she thought it was going to be a piece of cake at all, but I think other people in the media may have perceived Caitlin Clark is going to be a walk in the park for her. But, the WNBA, I think, is a great league. There are so many talented women in the WNBA, whether it's the Aces, the Liberty. I mean, the Connecticut Sun, I don't think they've lost a game yet. Yeah. But I definitely think Caitlin Clark she's a great player, but I think there's a, like you said, there's a difference between college sports and, you know, professional sports. So she might have been, you know, amazing during college, but you never know how her WNBA career is going to play out. And even, like, obviously the Olympics are coming up, and I know, have you followed, you know, the women's team at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I would say, like, me personally, I like playing better than I like watching soccer. Mm-hmm. Definitely, I like watching women's more than men's. I think men's is boring. Sorry, I'm biased.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit, but you see, like, on the U.S. women's national team, there's a lot of young talent. Like, one girl, I think her name's Lily, the other night, she got her first cap at 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
Like, and she scored a goal. Like, it's insane, like, how much young talent you have coming. But it's kind of like, what happens if you tear your ACL tomorrow? Like, you're not going to college. You're not preparing for your future. And, like, that was a big thing. It's like, how am I going to play and prepare for my future, you know? Yeah, so I think
VMI provided you with that future.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, personally, I'm really excited for the Olympics. I think it's very interesting because you kind of see this new era of players, but then you also still have, you know, women like Alex Morgan who are still playing, but we have like Megan Rapinoe, like those types of players who have retired. But like, for instance, like Trinity Rodman, I think she's great. So I think it'll be really interesting to see kind of like the like Alex Morgan, who's very experienced, and then kind of like the new era of players like come together and how they'll, you know,
definitely
how they'll play out in the Olympics.
The thing about like the Olympics, like, one of my good friends who I played club with, she is playing for the Jamaican national team. So she's not playing for Team USA. Like, you have a lot of players who, like, grandparents, you can play for these teams. So their talent is spread everywhere now. It's not just like one dominating force, and I think it's going to be super fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm actually going to France right before the Olympics. I'm going for my mom's birthday. It's like a huge family trip. Cool. She's been waiting for that. But so yeah, no, that'd be really. I mean, it would have been cool to be there for the Olympics. But yeah, no, I feel like growing up, like we always watched the women's soccer team on TV. Like, obviously I played soccer, my sister played soccer, so we were always watching soccer, not necessarily like men's, but like you said, more on the women's side. So yeah, I think like whenever the Olympics comes around, like everyone wants to watch women's soccer. So I'm hoping like we can continue that momentum, like with the entire, you know, like college basketball, like that whole I guess like media drama craziness, whatever. I hope we can kind of translate that to, you know, having all eyes on the women's soccer team. But not only that, like women's basketball, there's gonna be a 3-on-3. I don't know how familiar you are with other women's players, but like Cameron Brink, she's gonna be on the team.
She was ranked number 1 in the rookie. Caitlin Clark was 6th. That was like yesterday.
We definitely saw the same exact post. And then Haley Van Luth, she's also gonna be on the 3-on-3. She was at LSU, or no? If you
she'll be on the Olympic team.
The 3-on-3. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm excited for the Olympics. I think it's always like a cool transition out of like just the regular college professional environment. So I'm looking forward to it. Let us know if you guys are looking forward to the Olympics. But Jill, it was so exciting to have you. I'm honestly like, I love when I can have people like not only who I know, but obviously like who I played with. So I feel like you've come like a long way to like, it's just so exciting to see you like when you were a freshman, and now like we're basically adults now. You're about to go into the Army. So I'm really proud of you. I'm really excited for you and your next journey. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining on this episode of The Chat, and we'll see you guys later.